You're watching TAG TV.
Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lipakshi Kurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Tuesday, the 9th of October. 29 Zika virus cases confirmed in northwestern India. Afghan CEO Abdullah welcomes the US efforts to help broker peace. And India-Japan resume bilateral maritime exercise after 5 years. And now for all the details. Authorities in India's northwestern Rajasthan province confirmed on Tuesday that a total of 29 people have been tested positive for Zika virus in provincial capital Jaipur. Officials said efforts are on to contain the deadly virus through intensive surveillance and vector management.
A total of 29 people have been tested positive of Zika virus in Jaipur in India's northwestern Rajasthan province, officials said on Tuesday. Rajasthan's additional Chief Secretary of Health said authorities have listed all the cases of fever in a defined area of Jaipur. All suspected cases and mosquito samples are being tested. Officials said as many as 450 samples have been collected so far, including samples of 160 pregnant women. As per reports, the first case of virus in the city was confirmed on September 24th.
आज की तारीख में रोज करीब 150 से 200 टीम्स स्वास्थ्य विभाग की पूरे एरिया में एक तरह का मैं कहूँ उसको कोम्बिंग ऑपरेशन कर रही हैं। घर घर जाके सर्वे किया जा रहा है। अब तक लगभग 26,000 घरों का सर्वे किया जा चुका है।
जो भी प्रोटोकॉल्स अडॉप्ट करने होते हैं वो सारे करते हैं और हम इसके ऊपर नज़र बनाए हुए हैं। आपके माध्यम से मैं जनता को ये कहूँगा कि इसमें चिंता और हड़बड़ाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, पैनिक करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है। एवरीथिंग इज अंडर कंट्रोल।
Symptoms of Zika virus disease include fever, skin rashes, conjunctivitis, muscle and joint pain, malaise and headache. In India, the first outbreak was reported in Gujarat province in January 2017 and the second outbreak in July 2017 in Tamil Nadu. Both these outbreaks were successfully contained through intensive surveillance and vector management.
In news from Pakistan, Pakistan's top court on Monday reserved its judgment on the final appeal against the execution of Asia Bibi, a Christian woman sentenced to death in a blasphemy case. She became the first woman to be sentenced to death in 2010 under Pakistan's draconian blasphemy laws, a claim she denies.
Pakistan's Supreme Court on Monday reserved its judgment on the final appeal against the execution of Asia Bibi, a Christian woman sentenced to death in a blasphemy case. Asia Bibi, a mother of 4, in 2010 became the first woman to be sentenced to death under Pakistan's draconian blasphemy laws, a claim she denies. She allegedly made derogatory remarks about Islam after neighbors objected to her drinking water from their glass because she was not Muslim. She appealed to the Supreme Court, which concluded proceedings on Monday but reserved its judgment. The court did not specify when it would announce a ruling.
जो कुछ हमारे लॉयर्स हैं दोनों तरफ से आया उन्होंने पूरी तरह अपना जोर लगाया और हमने साबित किया कि सारा झूठ है।
The ultra-religious Tehreek-e-Labaik Pakistan or TLP party, which makes punishing blasphemy its main campaign rallying cry, warned the court against any concession or softness for Bibi. In November, the party staged a crippling blockade of capital Islamabad city after a tweak to a religious oath, which it claims was tantamount to blasphemy. 7 people were killed and more than 200 wounded in clashes with the police and TLP supporters.
Moving on, a group of policemen serving on contractual basis were beaten up by police in Muzaffarabad city of Pakistan-administered Kashmir for holding protests to demand a permanent job status. Activists have long alleged that people from the illegally occupied region are accorded no honor by the Pakistani establishment and their voices are muzzled.
A group of policemen who were recruited temporarily were beaten up by the police in Muzaffarabad city of Pakistan-administered Kashmir recently for demanding permanent job status. Reportedly, these policemen were appointed temporarily to provide security to Chinese workers engaged in the construction of the Neelam Jhelum hydropower project in the illegally occupied region. As the work on the dam site is almost finished, these policemen were afraid of losing their jobs and hence they were protesting. At least 4 protesters were seriously injured in the clashes. Islamabad has for years been plundering the resources in the occupied territory and filling its coffers. Since the advent of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor or CPEC, Islamabad has stepped up its devious activities of grabbing the land and resources of Pakistan-administered Kashmir. Locals say Islamabad is exploiting the common public to please its Chinese masters. Pakistan, which claims to have given autonomous rights to Pakistan-administered Kashmir, has in reality treated it as its colony with no honor being accorded to its residents.
And in news from Afghanistan, Afghanistan's Chief Executive Officer Abdullah has welcomed the United States' efforts to help find a solution to the war and achieve sustainable peace in his country. This came a day after U.S. envoy Zalmay Khalilzad arrived in Kabul, hoping to break the stalemate regarding the war and to bring peace.
Abdullah, the chief executive or CEO of Afghanistan's National Unity Government, has welcomed United States' efforts to help find a solution to the war and achieve sustainable peace in the country. Abdullah's remarks came on Monday as U.S. envoy Zalmay Khalilzad visited Kabul, hoping to break stalemate and bring peace. Abdullah said that now the opportunity has been created for the peace process and asked the Taliban to join negotiation.
یکی پروسه صلح حمایتی همه مردم افغانستان و جامعه بین‌المللی را داره یک زمینه و یک فرصت خوب است. امیدوار هستیم که طرف مقابل هم از این فرصت استفاده کنند.
Khalilzad, after arriving in the Afghan capital on Sunday, said he has come to Afghanistan to break the stalemate regarding the war and to bring peace to the war-torn country. An Afghan-born former U.S. ambassador to Kabul and Iraq, Khalilzad was appointed in September to the U.S. State Department team that is leading the reconciliation effort and peace talks with the Taliban.
More news from Afghanistan. United Nations in Afghanistan released a special report recently expressing serious concerns over the increased use of improvised explosive devices against Afghan civilians. The report highlights how anti-government elements have intensified use of explosive devices, resulting in heavy casualties in civilian areas of the country.
The United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan, or UNAMA, has released a special report voicing their serious concerns about the increasing use of improvised explosive devices, or IEDs, against Afghan civilians. The special report documents a sharp increase in the killings of Afghan civilians by IEDs from January 1st to September 30th this year. According to the report, throughout 2018, anti-government elements intensified their attacks in civilian areas of Afghanistan by using IEDs. UNAMA has maintained that all parties must immediately cease the deliberate targeting of civilians and provided recommendations in the report for immediate measures to be taken to prevent further casualties. In a statement issued with the report on Sunday, UNAMA said anti-government elements must immediately end the indiscriminate and disproportionate use of all IEDs in areas frequented by civilians.
A 9-day-long bilateral maritime exercise has been organized in India's southeastern coast of Visakhapatnam to enhance interoperability and improve understanding between the naval forces of India and Japan. 2 Japanese ships, Kaga and Inazuma, are taking part in the joint maritime exercise.
Indian Navy and Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force are taking part in the bilateral maritime exercise JMEX 2018 in India's southeastern coast of Visakhapatnam. The 9-day-long maritime exercise is aimed at enhancing interoperability, improving understanding and imbibing the best practices followed by naval forces of both the countries. 3 Indian naval ships, a submarine, a maritime patrol aircraft and a number of integral helicopters are a part of the maritime exercise, with 2 Japanese ships, Kaga and Inazuma.
This edition of JMEX is spread over 9 days, which includes 4 days of harbour phase, which commenced yesterday, and 5 days of sea phase, which would commence on the 10th.
The last edition of JMEX was held in December 2013. The conduct of exercise after 5 years is indicative of an upswing in the Indo-Japanese defence relations. The ships of the 2 navies have been working in close coordination in anti-piracy operations in the Gulf of Aden for the past few years.
A month-long national-level Khadi exhibition has been organized in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province for the revival and promotion of Handspun Khadi products. Artisans from across the country have displayed their products in the exhibition.
With an objective of promoting Handspun Khadi products, a month-long national-level Khadi exhibition has been organized in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province. Over 200 stalls by local Khadi and village industry units and Khadi institutions from across the country have been set up to display Khadi products at the exhibition. The event is aimed at giving an impetus to the Khadi and village industry sector in the province and also provide a platform to the budding and potential entrepreneurs to display their handmade products to the people.
हम लोग यहाँ अपना प्रोडक्ट लेके आए हैं खादी का, जो हमारे यहाँ हम लोग खुद बनाते हैं, तो वो भी एक कश्मीर के लोगों को भी देखने का और जानने का अवसर ज़रूर मिलेगा। और हम लोग भी अलग अलग स्टेट से आए हुए जो भी आर्टिजन्स हैं उनके प्रोडक्ट को देख रहे हैं, तो एक तरह से कल्चर का आदान प्रदान करने का बहुत अच्छा माध्यम है।
A large number of locals and tourists have been visiting the exhibition and enjoying different types of activities.
Artists across India are giving final touches to huge idols of Hindu goddess Durga ahead of the Navratri or 9 Nights festival, which is set to begin from Wednesday. Navratri is celebrated in honor of the 9 manifestations of the goddess, which symbolize the triumph of good over evil.
Artists across India are working against the time to prepare idols and decorative ornaments for Hindu goddess Durga ahead of Navratri or the 9 Nights festival. Navratri is celebrated in honor of the 9 manifestations of Hindu goddess Durga. The goddess of power, Durga, is depicted as riding a raging lion, holding weapons in her 10 hands. During Navratri, many people observe fasting and some restrict their diet to fruits and vegetables, sparing meat, onions and garlic.
ये तो हम लोग का 3 पीढ़ी चला के भी पूजा कमेटी काम होता भी है और हम लोग करते भी हैं अच्छा से एकदम।
तो कैसा लगता है आप लोग को? जैसा
नहीं, काम तो हम लोग करते हैं, अच्छा ही लगता है हम लोग को, ऐसा कोई बात नहीं है। वो भी आके हम लोग का ऑर्डर करते हैं, हम लोग काम भी करते हैं, लेकिन फिटिंग भी करते हैं जाके। उनका पूजा कमेटी में शरीक भी होते हैं, दशहरा में शरीक भी होते हैं।
For Hindus, Navratri is one of the most auspicious times of the year. People often start new ventures during this time. It is believed that goddess Durga descends on earth during Navratri to rid it of demons and blesses her devotees with happiness and prosperity.
हम कलकत्ता से हैं। हम दुर्गा पूजा के टाइम में आता है इधर, वो पेंटिंग का काम करने के लिए आता है, तो पेंटिंग का काम करते हैं असम में।
In India, the festival is celebrated twice in a year during the spring and the autumn season. It is said to begin on October 10th.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.